What's up guys, Judo Sloth here and welcome to this beginner's guide video for how to start Clash of Clans. Everything you need to know all in this one video, lots of tips and tricks in order to get you started in the right direction for your Clash of Clans journey. Now any of you guys that did see my recent updated channel intro video will know that I discussed low level gameplay going right back to basics. I've always covered a variety on my channel from basic gameplay right the way through to more advanced, but I've only ever done that from Town Hall 8 and above for the actual gameplay. So we're going right back to the start, creating a fresh account so we can bring you that low level gameplay and bring things right the way back to basics so we can teach you everything you need to know from starting out, whether that be attacking in Clash of Clans, defending, farming and how to upgrade, advice as you move through the Town Hall levels. We'll be able to bring you content right the way from Town Hall 1. So we're starting out today with a general beginner's guide video, everything you need to know when you're actually starting out Clash of Clans as we move through the tutorial here, and we'll teach you lots of tips and tricks along the way. Now the tutorial has already started in the background and we built a cannon within our base in order to fend off some attacking goblins. We've also been provided with 5 wizards in order to attack this initial base. Now there's only one defense here, the cannon, and you actually only need 2 wizards in order to take this down. So that's a nice little tip if you want to save a couple of wizards, because you can't actually unlock these until you've upgraded your barracks a couple of levels, which may take you a couple of days. The wizards are also very powerful, so you may use these on some of the other single player maps, or if you attack another player in multiplayer and you really want to take down their base, you have a couple of stronger troops there in order to hit them hard. Or it's just pretty cool to have them when you can't unlock them. You'll then be instructed to build another builder's hut. Now this costs 250 gems and you start out with 500 gems. The third builder will cost 500 gems, so you only need to save up another 250 gems in order to get that third builder. You can unlock 5 of these, and each time you want one, the price doubles. So the 4th builder is 1000 gems and the 5th is 2000 gems. Now the builders are the best thing to buy with premium currency in the game. The more builders you have as you go through the game, the better your production speed in order to upgrade your base. Now with the tutorial, it will tell you to spend gems in order to speed up upgrades, but as you've just saw in a few examples here, you don't actually have to do that. You can let the timer tick out and you don't have to spend that premium currency. So I would hold on to it as best as you can because you want to try and save up for them extra builders. If you are going to spend money on the game, Clash is a free to play game, but you can buy the premium currency, the builder huts are definitely what I would recommend buying. Now there are a few different currencies in Clash of Clans, but when you first start out, you only need to worry about gold and elixir. We've already built a gold mine in order to produce some gold, a storage in order to obviously store it, an elixir pump in order to produce some elixir, and a storage for that, but we will go into all of that in a little bit more depth in a few minutes. For now, let's talk about attacking. So we've built our barracks. This is where you train troops, and we have started building some barbarians. This is the first troop that you unlock in the game. Again, you can see the tutorial wants you to spend that premium currency, but you don't have to. You can just sit and wait for the timer to go through. So let's skip ahead to when we have some barbarians built, and then you can see we are required to click the attack button and get into another attack. So I'm speeding up the gameplay, but as long as you have your notifications turned on, you will get a notification once your army is built, and then you can jump back onto Clash of Clans and do your attacking. So the tutorial continues with Goblin Forest, the next level in the single player maps, and you can see that the game instructs you to deploy barbarians to this archer tower. Now later on in the game, things get a bit more advanced and a bit more tactical, but initially I would recommend prioritizing the defenses. Normally early stages in the game you can deploy your troops pretty much straight onto defenses, and then from there your troops are free to take out the other buildings without being targeted. Defences have a set radius, so the archer tower there would have been able to fire at my Barbarians when they're taking out these two buildings. So if the Archer Tower was still standing, my Barbarians would be getting shot and taken out as they're trying to take out these buildings. By taking out the defences first, you're not giving them as much time to shoot at your troops. So overall, they're obviously taking less damage, so you'll have more of them to take down the base. Now it may be that when you're in multiplayer and you're purely trying to steal somebody else's gold or elixir, you come across resources in either the mines or the storages that are outside radius of defences. You may not even have to touch the defences. That's just something you'll have to analyse as to what is going to be more efficient for you, but that is purely if you're just trying to steal somebody else's gold. You're not worried about how the victory goes. Obviously, as you can see there's different ratings. You get from 0 to 3 stars. 0 stars is a loss, 1 to 3 stars is a victory, and you get different ratings depending on how well you do. So you get 1 star for destroying 50% of the base, 1 star for taking out the town hall, which is the building being upgraded right now. That is your main building, and you get the 3rd and final star for taking out and destroying the entire base. So we'll break all this down and talk about this a little bit more in a future video, but it all depends on the aspect or the reason why you're attacking as to what your objective would be. Now you did see there we created our name, Little Judo Sloth, and I would highly recommend taking the time to ensure that you get the right name here and a name that you're actually happy with, because you can change it but only once. After that time you're stuck with your name, so do take the time in order to think about it. So that is the tutorial done. As we zoom out, we've already upgraded our town hall to town hall level 2. You can see the clan castle is ruined over in the corner here. This is the building which is going to allow you to interact with your friends. You will be able to join or create a clan, and it is the entire social aspect to the game. It does cost 40,000 gold, so it may take you a couple of days in order to get to that stage. Now you can see we have highlighted the stones. The stones do not respawn back on your base, so once you get rid of these, you cannot get them again. So if you do want to keep one for a souvenir, I would recommend keeping one that's out to the corner of the base. As you get to the higher town hall levels, you may end up just getting rid of it anyway, as it gets in the road of different base designs, but it is pretty cool to have along the way. Now the other obstacles, the trees, bushes, logs, etc., they will all respawn back. As you take them away, you get gems, so the premium currency, and you also get gems for completing achievements. That's where we just showed you can get the Builder's Hut, the 3rd one, for 500 gems, and it won't actually take you too long to save to that level. Now one problem you will have at the start of the game, and to a certain extent it is unavoidable, but that is that you will cap out on Gold and Elixir. You can see at the moment I can only hold 2,500 gold and 2,500 elixir. So I've actually began upgrading my storages for both of them so that I can hold more gold and elixir. And I would recommend, as much as you want to upgrade the mines and pumps in order to speed your production, trying to upgrade the storages as best you can and making that quite a priority at the start of the game. Because as you raid other people, even if you steal their loot, if you can't hold the loot, you will just get to your maximum capacity and that will be it. The other loot will just vanish into thin air, and you don't really want that to happen, so you want to try and upgrade your storages to as high of a level as possible. So you can see we've flicked you through the other buildings there. We have the barracks and the army camps. That is where you build and also store your other troops. And then you have your defences. As you move through the town hall levels, you unlock new defences. Now, as much as you can attack people within multiplayer, clearly other people can attack you, but you can have a shield in order to protect your base and not allow anyone to attack you. When you first start the game, you will be given a free 3-day shield. If you are brand new to the game, you've never attacked before, I would recommend sticking to the single player map initially in order to get the hang of it. This will give you a little bit of time whilst you have that shield in order to upgrade your mines and storages so you have a little bit of production going. Also build some defences and upgrade your barracks so you can hold more troops, so you have your base a little bit up and running before you actually start attacking in multiplayer. If you are a little bit more active during this time, you start picking up attacking quite well, or you've simply played the game before, then dive straight into multiplayer. Feel free, you will actually get more gold from doing that. You can get far more loot from raiding in multiplayer. However, do bear in mind that you may cap out your storages. As I was explaining earlier, when you're in multiplayer you may get more loot, but your storages don't hold too much at the start of the game, so likely you'll cap out very quickly. You'll then have to wait of your builders upgrading anyway, and you'll just be sat there with a lot of gold. So I probably would try and utilise that free shield as best as you can, but if you are a little bit more active, then you can dive straight into multiplayer and get yourself going a little bit quicker. So heading back to base, the troops that you deploy in an attack, you do not get back. Even if they survive, you don't get them troops back. So within our army camp, we have the troops that we didn't deploy, and the barracks has also been producing some barbarians as we were actually doing that attack. So it's always useful before you do an attack to start building some troops in the barracks, because as you are actually raiding, your troops will still be getting made in the background, and then when you come back to base, you don't have to wait as long for your entire army to be made. So we've skipped ahead a half hour for our Gold and Elixir storages to be upgraded, and as long as you have notifications on, you will get a notification when your upgrades are finished. And for upgrading our gold storage to level 2, we unlocked an achievement and got a whopping 2 gems. The gold storage to level 2 is actually a good achievement because you will most likely do this on your first day of playing Clash of Clans, so it's a good achievement to look back on to know the exact date that you started the game. So I can look back on my main account and I know that I started the game on the 8th of June 2013 because that is when I unlocked that achievement. Just flicking through a couple of menus here, we'll go over leagues in a different video. I'm not in a league at the moment because you need 400 trophies in order to enter the bronze league. You can view top clans and players, and also your friend list is where you will see any of your game center friends, or if you attach your Facebook account to Clash of Clans, you can see any of your Facebook friends that have done the same. In one list you can view their clan and their profile, and also see where you rank against them. We discussed obstacles earlier on in the video. You can see it does require a builder in order to remove them, and it does cost either gold or elixir in order to do so. The gold is for the rocks and the stones, which as I said do not spawn back on the base, and you can see that you get gems when you remove the obstacles. Now we have covered quite a lot in this video. I think we'll start wrapping things up shortly. If we just upgrade one of the barracks to unlock the archer troop, show you a little bit of gameplay and explain that, and then we will go into a lot more depth about things in future videos as well. Really just wanted to summarize a lot of beginner tips for this starting video, just to make you hit the ground running and tell you a lot of stuff that you need to know for starting out Clash of Clans. So I know we've covered a lot of very basic stuff and some neat little tips and tricks, but really the main takeaway things are to try and increase your productivity early on in the game. So you want to unlock as many gold mines and elixir pumps as you can, upgrade them as much as you can, and also the storages so that you hopefully don't cap out. And as much as you want to prioritize that, you do want to unlock all of the buildings and upgrade the initial ones first, because you will get the same percentage increase per level, but the build time and the cost will be significantly less at the lower level, so it helps to speed the production of your base up a little bit quicker. So for example, the elixir collector there roughly increased by the same percentage production and capacity each level, even though the build time and the cost was much less at that lower level. So you do want to keep somewhat of a balance, but do prioritize some things over another. If you are going to spend gems on the game, I would recommend the builders huts as a priority. That is something that is going to go through the entire game with you and will increase your productivity in upgrading your entire base across your entire Clash journey. You can see when the builders aren't busy, if you drag his hut away, they literally are sleeping. They're just lying down, lazing around on the grass. So you do want to try and keep them busy as much as possible. I did just build the second gold mine and the second elixir collector. That again is going to increase my productivity, but then we do want to get the builders back working. They don't get a vacation, guys. You want them to keep working as much as possible. So let's upgrade the barracks in order to unlock the archer troop, show you a little bit about this troop, how it differs from the barbarian, and then we will wrap up this beginner's video. So our army camp is full. We have 20 troop capacity already in there. We did have barbarians ready to be made that we'd spent elixir in order to train up in the barracks, but since we don't have room for them, we can cancel them off, and you do get that elixir back. Whatever you cancel out of the barracks, you get the elixir back. From doing that, we have enough to upgrade the barracks, and it will be 15 minutes before we unlock the archer. So that is just enough time to show you another quick raid with the barbarians, and then we can bring the archers into the exact same raid and show you the difference. So just so we can manage our builders' time and we don't have one guy sitting around napping, we can upgrade the cannon. Now this takes 15 minutes as well, so when we do log out of the game, it means when we log back in, we can get both of the builders working at the same time there again. So looking at this base, Rocky Fort, you can see the cannon up here on the top left is behind a set of walls. The barbarians would have to break through the wall in order to get to the cannon, and the cannon can be shooting at the barbarians the whole time. So we have to come in from the bottom right in order to send all of the barbarians right through the base before they get to that cannon. The archers are a ranged troop, so they take 1 troop capacity as well. They don't have as much health as the barbarians, but they have the advantage where they don't have to get as close to a defense in order to take it down. So the archers could shoot over the wall here in order to hit the cannon. So that's obviously where they come into advantage a little bit more. So we'll show you that example as well. You can see the solid red line around the walls and around the buildings. You cannot place your troops inside that red line. You have to place them outside, and it means that you can't physically just drop all of your troops directly on top of a defense. It means that you have to be a bit more tactical with your deployment, and as you move through the game, this is what keeps things a bit more skillful. So you can see we have more than enough barbarians to take them initial 2 cannons, take down the town hall, and then move forward to the next cannon. And actually we have more than enough barbarians to take this out and kind of swarm the rest of the base. However, we could be more effective by using the archers. So as much as in this instance we had enough troops in order to swarm and take over the base, if it was a little bit stronger, we might not be as lucky. And obviously you do want to aim for the most effective way of taking down a base. So let's unlock the archers and then show you the differences between the 2 troop mechanics and how we could use them to more effectively take down that cannon and then destroy this base. Now the single player maps, unlike in multiplayer, don't actually have a timer, so you can be as efficient as you like and just let the troops destroy the final buildings once the defences are down. You don't have to drop any more troops because you're not on a timer within the single player. So let's skip forward to when we have the archer unlocked, and you can see with the barracks upgrade we also level up to level 4. Now your level and experience bar is displayed in the top left, but this means very little within Clash of Clans. It is more a way to show how far you have advanced on in the game. You get experience for a variety of different things, but actually it has very little impact on the gameplay itself. So let's cook up some archers, and then if we skip ahead to when they are actually made, we can then show you the difference between the barbarians and the archers. So within the barracks, if you click the I button, you can see the barbarians do 8 damage per second and have 45 hit points. If we swap across to the archer, you can see they do slightly less, 7 damage per second, but they have less than half the hit points, 20. Now that is because they have the advantage of range, so they don't have to get as close to a defense in order to do that damage. That's why they have the decreased hit points. So looking at the cannon here, what you want to do, because the barbarians have that greater hit point, they are more of a tanky troop. They can defend and take a lot more shots than the archers would. So if you deploy a couple of them, they can actually tank, take some of the damage, so that your archers with less hit points aren't getting taken out as easily. So you can see it was a much better way of shooting over the wall in order to take that cannon out. They're then going to take this little building in the top right, and then as they move down, the cannon will engage them, and that's then when I'm going to deploy the barbarians. Now we will get into more advanced attacking, and there's a few ways to look at this. I could have deployed the barbarians first to distract the cannon so that the archer could come in, but I had no further use for the archers, and actually, in this instance, the close combat barbarians were the more important and what I wanted to protect, because that single archer wasn't going to do a great deal, so the barbarians were better to be protected and use the archer as kind of bait to distract the cannon, but it does depend on the situation and you will have to analyse that as you're attacking. But in general, the barbarians are more of a tanky troop, they have more hit points, so you want to use them first in order to distract, and then the archers can shoot over the barbarians in order to do that extra ranged damage. And with that, I think we'll call it quits for today's video, guys. That has been a whistle-stop tour for how to start Clash of Clans and lots of beginner tips. If you do have any further questions, please just drop a comment in the section below. I'll be happy to try and help you out. Stay tuned for more gameplay as we progress through this account. I'll bring you a lot more beginner guides and general tips and tricks videos for various aspects of the game. Make sure to subscribe for more Clash of Clans. I've been your host Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out guys.
Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.